You ever find an anime so good it makes you lose your mind a little? Like, how is no one talking about this? There are so many shows like that. I mean, legit hidden gold gems, but everyone's too busy watching the same 3 mainstream hits, while these masterpieces are out here collecting dust. So today we're fixing that, cause these underrated anime are straight fire, and it's about time they got some love. Okay, enough talk, let's get to the good stuff. Number 7, Darker Than Black, is basically, what if superpowers came with the world's dumbest side effects? Like, yeah, you can control lightning, but you gotta eat 10 bowls of ramen afterward. Yep, that's the payback for using your power. So yeah, in this world, it's normal, and that's where Hei comes in. This calm, mask-wearing dude who fights like he's dodging rent payments. He's a contractor, which means he's crazy strong, but also emotionally dead inside. He works for this shadowy group, doing missions that are never simple, and every time he shows up, someone is about to get folded, and the world is super cool. Fake sky, mysterious gate, governments losing their minds, trying to control everything. Every character feels like they have some weird quirk or tragic backstory that probably needed therapy instead of powers. If you want a show that slowly reveals its world while following a guy juggling spy works and family drama, this one delivers, keeping you hooked because you need to know what Hei will uncover next. On number 6, The Witch and the Beast. So, this story follows Godot and Ashaf, 2 people who definitely should not be allowed anywhere near normal problems. Because Godot, always hothead, she's got a curse on her, which might be why she barely talks to anyone and just steps in, locks onto the problem, and lets her fists handle the whole conversation. Then there is Ashaf, the calmest guy ever. And bro, he's smoking in almost every episode. Something crazy happens. He lights up, big enemy shows up, he lights another. And just like that, the problem's basically solved. At this point, it feels like the smoke is doing more magic than his spells. These 2 go city to city dealing with witches and creatures that always cause some kind of problem. Each place has something weird going on, and things are never as straightforward as they seem. While traveling, we slowly learn about Guido's past. She used to be a strong beast, but a witch named Angela cursed her and trapped her in this small body. Her real power is sealed inside the coffin Ashaf carries, and she can only use it by kissing a witch. So yeah, no wonder she's always annoyed, but things really start getting interesting when they run into people connected to Angela, the witch who cursed Godot. Next one is number 5, Deadman Wonderland. So the story starts with Ganta, just a normal kid chilling in class with his friends. Then out of nowhere, this red floating guy shows up and wipes out the entire classroom in seconds. Ganta's the only one left alive, which sounds lucky until the cops show up and decide, yeah, it was probably him. They arrest him on the spot and send him to Deadman Wonderland, a prison that's also a theme park. People buy tickets to watch prisoners play deadly games, and if Ganta wants to survive, he has to join in. Inside, he quickly learns 2 things. This place is meant to break you, and he has a power that lets him use his own blood as a weapon. While he's processing that, a strange white-haired girl suddenly appears. Shiro is the real flavor of this anime. She moves like she's made of rubber, shows up right when Ganta needs someone, and isn't scared of anything. There's clearly something different about her, but she smiles so big you kind of forget to question it. The only sad part? The anime ends super early, so you don't get as much story as you might want, but even with that, it's still enjoyable. Next is number 4, Dead Mount Death Play. This story follows a guy who honestly just wants peace, but the universe refuses to let him have it. Is a reverse isekai, meaning instead of a normal person going to a fantasy world, a straight up necromancer comes to modern Tokyo. Next thing he knows, he wakes up in Tokyo inside the body of a 16-year-old kid named Polka Shinoyama. Right after Polka gets his throat slit. Yeah, not peaceful at all. The one who did it is an assassin girl named Misaki. He kills her just to survive, then pauses, realizes she's kind of cute, and brings her back as a zombie because letting her die would be such a waste. He even saves the original Polka's soul, first inside a drone and later inside a shark plushie. Now Polka is living in Tokyo, but magic barely exists here, so he needs money and gemstones just to use his powers. That's how he ends up dealing with shady people and hanging around the criminal side of Shinjuku. But of course, things don't stay normal. His old world isn't done with him. People from his past are starting to pop up in Tokyo, and they aren't here for a vacation. It turns out the 2 worlds have been connected for a long time, and Polka is right in the middle of a supernatural conspiracy that's been brewing for centuries. And number 3, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Okay, imagine Attack on Titan met Snowpiercer and had a steampunk baby. That's basically what this anime feels like. In a world where zombies have iron-plated hearts that no ordinary bullet can pierce, humanity's only hope for survival is a fleet of literal armored trains. Our main guy who decides he's had enough of running. Instead of hiding like everyone else, he spends his nights building a DIY gun he swears will pierce a Kabane's heart. People think he's crazy, but he doesn't care. When the Kabane show up, everyone else runs for safety. But Akoma steps forward, ready to test his homemade weapon, and ends up getting bitten. For a second, it looks like it's over, but nope. He flexes his willpower and stops himself from turning because, well, the plot simply refuses to let him die. Then there is Mume. She is cute, adorable, she swings her swords like it is a morning warm-up. Together, Ikoma and Mume slice through hordes of Kabane while the train is breaking down and everything is going completely out of control. On number 2, Dororo. Hakimaru was born under a terrible curse. His dad made a deal with demons, trading his unborn son's body parts to 12 demons just so his land would be saved. As a result, Hakimaru enters the world barely human at all, missing skin, limbs, eyes, and even a voice, left with nothing but his soul. A kind doctor saves him, giving him wooden prosthetics, fake limbs, and hidden blades so he can move and fight. He slowly rebuilds himself by hunting the demons that hold his body parts, and every victory the universe goes, congrats, here's an upgrade. I mean, he literally gets one of his body parts back. That's when Dororo joins the story, this tiny gremlin child who talks enough for both of them. Without Dororo, Hyakimaru would just silently walk through Japan slicing things forever. And with her by his side, the show balances its action with this really simple road trip vibe. Finally, number 1. 86. Imagine a world where war is fought against a robot army, and the government claims no humans are dying at all. Everyone celebrates. Problem is, it's a complete lie. The Republic isn't sending drones. They're sending humans called the 86 exiled kids shoved into a secret district, forced to pilot mechs called juggernauts, and fight battles no one else has to see. Basically, it's a government saying, don't worry, everything's fine, while secretly throwing people into hell. The stakes? Huge. These kids are treated like disposable assets. And then there's Shine Nuzin, the cold-faced haunted leader of the Spearhead Squad, running on adrenaline while still managing to fight like an absolute legend. Vladilena Melize, his handler, starts realizing the Republic's lies are literally costing lives, and she's desperate to fix it. The battles are insane, emotional, and full of tension. You're constantly torn between epic mecha action and the gut punch of knowing these pilots are just kids surviving a war no one admits exists. And that's it, man. If even one of these shows made you go, how did I miss this? Then my job here is done. Go watch these underrated bangers, then come back and yell at me in the comments about which one you couldn't stop watching once you started. Alright, I'm out. Drink some water, touch some grass, and I'll see you in the next one.